PHY128 practice questions for test B. Number 1, it says determine the horizontal and vertical component of the force of 250 newtons in the following diagram. So here is a force acting at an inclination of 30 degrees to the horizontal. So it has a horizontal component and a vertical component. So let us demonstrate this. Let us show it. So as you can see, the horizontal component is next to the 30 degrees. So that means it is adjacent to the 30 degrees. And the vertical component is opposite to the 30 degrees. It's away from it. And the 250 newtons can be considered the hypotenuse because it is away from the 90 degrees box. The vertical and horizontal component form the leg of the 90 degrees, whereas the 250 newtons form the hypotenuse. So we can clearly use cosine for the horizontal component and sine for the vertical component. So starting with the horizontal component, we can clearly say cosine of 30 degrees is equal to the hypotenuse remember it's hypotenuse divided by the adjacent. Cosine and the hypotenuse is 250. So therefore it is adjacent over hypotenuse, and the adjacent is the horizontal component. So the horizontal component divided by the hypotenuse, which is the 250. So to make the adjacent, that's HC, the horizontal component, the subject of the ratio, you want to put it that way, the subject of the formula. So that would be 250 multiplied to cosine of 30. And that will give us the horizontal component. And as you can clearly see, 250 times cosine of 30 is actually 216.51. So the horizontal component will be 216.51 newtons. So let's move on now to the vertical component. As you can see, the vertical component is away from the 30 degrees. Actually in real life, it's acting at that point. However, diagrammatically, we can form the right angle triangle, and this vertical height is the same as this vertical height to complete the right angle triangle. And here now, we can use the sine ratio to calculate the vertical component, because the vertical component here is away, or it is opposite to the 30 degrees. So therefore now we have sine of the 30 degrees is equal to the vertical component, because sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So it's the vertical component divided by the 250, and that's equal to sine of 30. So making vertical component the subject of the ratio, the subject of the formula, the vertical component will be 250 multiplied to sine of 30. And we can use our scientific calculator to do that. So as you can clearly see, 250 times sine of 30 is equal to 125. So the vertical component is 125 newton. So here we have answered the question to determine the horizontal and vertical component of the force 250 newtons, which acts at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal.